Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy A&J, and welcome to the best of sports and pro wrestling, the best of pro wrestling and sports. Either way, you get the best of both worlds right here. Nonetheless, we got some really interesting stuff to talk about here, and in doing so, what I'd like to do very quickly here is just introduce some of you who aren't familiar to one Mr. David Ott. He is the new head coach of the Phoenix Suns. And of course, this is coming off being an assistant for the Cleveland Cavaliers, who coincidentally are the ones having been eliminated by the main topic of this video in the Indiana Pacers. I don't know why I keep spoiling these things. It's the second time I've done that in the video today. But nonetheless, yeah, this is really, really interesting. I think this is actually pretty good hire. I mean, he's actually been a coaching candidate, and I think he's actually had a HUD coaching position before, or at least interim. I mean, but you can't go wrong coming off of a staff that had the best record in the NBA this season. I mean, it actually works, and for a lot of the things that they've been trying to do in Phoenix, I think it also works. The tricky thing about it, though, is you've got the situation now where, Kevin Durant is likely on his way out of Phoenix, potentially to New York, maybe even Detroit, Houston. I've heard Toronto to some degree, but nonetheless, it's really interesting because it turns out Devin Booker actually had some say in this hire, so this actually has to be somebody that he genuinely likes, and it certainly wouldn't be something that we're talking about here if he didn't actually sign off on it being the franchise player of the Phoenix Suns, although I kind of feel like it's going to come down to where he doesn't stick around there. Hopefully, for that situation's sake, I'm wrong about that, but to be perfectly honest, I am at a point to where I kind of prefer seeing Devin Booker elsewhere, specifically my Chicago Bulls, but that's neither here nor there. I'm looking forward to what this is actually going to wind up looking like, and maybe this is something that the Suns need, but again, if this one doesn't work out, I don't imagine Book will stick around in Phoenix for long. That's just my take on it, my personal opinion. Perhaps I'm proven wrong about that, but I don't think I will be. I mean, we'll see. Time will only tell, like I said in the last video. Speaking again of time will only tell, I don't know how I keep doing that with my transitions, but nonetheless, we got to talk about an NFL signing, specifically headliner, so to speak, and if for no other reason, it's because it involves that bad man. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers. Man, a lot of people would like to think this could be a hand-in-glove fit because if we're being perfectly honest, Aaron Rodgers still has a nice little bit left in the tank and is definitely capable of being pretty effective. I'm thinking with what Pittsburgh has going for him, he might actually be along the lines of what they need. I mean, being perfectly honest, even with him being, I think he's 41 now, but either way, even if that is the case, I'm actually inclined to say, and this is going to be really, really wild, it might even be something of a hot take, I actually feel better about this than I did when the Broncos signed Peyton Manning. I'm not lying. At the time that the Broncos signed Peyton Manning, I was not thrilled, especially coming off the next situation that he had going on at the time. And he actually did pretty good, but a lot of what I anticipated being the case wound up coming true. I don't really sense that with Aaron Rodgers, but again, being on that side of 40, it's going to be tricky. Now, granted, Tom Brady did pretty well with that, so did his former Green Bay predecessor in Brett Favre, but the thing about it is that how long can we expect this to last? I don't imagine that it'll be more than a couple of years. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers actually did draft Will Howard, I believe, in the second round of the 2025 NFL draft. So having Rodgers there is pretty ideal for grooming a young rookie quarterback candidate that might actually be your guy of the future here. And This is one instance where I don't mind looking at someone like in Aaron Rodgers as a bridge guy. In fact, I'm pretty sure he'd be okay with that too, especially given that you have someone there who's coming off of a national championship win, and oddly enough, he got picked up before Shedeur Sanders is, for whatever that may be worth to y'all. But all the same, looking forward to what Pittsburgh's going to be like. Was already looking forward to it as it was, with them bringing in DK Metcalf. They drafted Caleb Johnson, and they've actually made some other pretty nice moves that I think are going to keep them just as competitive as any team, not even just in that division, but perhaps the AFC as a whole, for all we know. And yeah, as if we didn't have reason to look forward to the 2026 season. I mean, I already am as it is. This is one more reason for that, and I gotta say, the Steelers could actually end up messing around and being pretty fun to watch. Alright, I'll call it the way I really want to. They'll fuck around and end up being fun to watch. But nonetheless, speaking of fun to watch, oh man, I know y'all saw that game last night. I know y'all saw that fucking game last night. Oh my god. We gotta talk about it. Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Now, granted, I did say that I was gonna come through with a finals prediction video, and yeah, I know I did say I was gonna stream. I apologize. I wound up pretty much dozing off an awful lot throughout the day. My apologies on that. I mean, it's the reason why we didn't have a whole lot of videos going, but yeah, neither here nor there. That's really all I'm gonna say about that. But I do gotta talk about the game itself, man. How crazy is it? I think they even got the Oklahoma City Thunder actually got out to about a 20-point lead. But yet and still, they weren't keeping the Pacers out of it. They still kept finding their way to get within striking distance. Even though there were times where the Thunder kept trying to put distance between themselves at the Pacers, they just couldn't keep the distance there because they were chipping away at it. It was what seemed to be, again, a 20-point lead turned into single digits. What wound up being 15, 16, 17-point lead, back to single digits. And then it got to a point to where down the stretch, we were at literally a 2-possession game. You can't let that happen with a team like the Indiana Pacers. Have we not been paying attention to what they've been doing in the Eastern Conference playoffs here? Like, this is where I said, and just to be clear, I had my prediction, and just to make it official, Pacers in 6, by the way. Especially now. But, that being said, you can't tell me, having watched what happened with the Cavs, with the Knicks, you honestly think you're going to be able to let them stay within striking distance? And on top of that, I'm sorry, and I can't even say Oklahoma City's coach's name, like Daigneault or something like that or whatever. I'm still trying to get used to that. I don't know even how anyone pronounces that, but Coach Daigneault, we'll call him. He is completely outmatched by a former world champion coach in Rick Carlisle. So if we're acting like we're surprised to see the Thunder steal, or the Pacers steal game 1 from the Thunder, you don't know shit about basketball, if that's what you're inclined to think. But I'll just leave it at that as far as that's concerned. I gotta say, this is every bit of what I anticipated to be the case. Like, I felt like the Thunder could and actually can win in those close situations, as they've actually done it before. But the safer thing for them to do is keep Indiana at a safe distance, so you don't have to worry about things like Tyrese Halliburton hitting a game winner with 0.3 seconds left on the clock. I mean, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? But yeah, that's just wild that people really didn't believe that could be the case. I mean, the line was 9.5 for fuck's sake, and people actually have the the Thunder winning in 4 and 5. So much for the 4 part. I would dare say 5's probably out the window too. Nonetheless, I mean, I feel like I saw this coming a mile away. And for those of you that didn't, just shame on you. And I'm going to leave it at that for now because Game 2 is absolutely going to be every bit as much of a banger, probably every bit as memorable, and it's going to be fun. If I actually do a live react, I will make sure I am there this time. I'll even probably be live during the day, probably do a daytime stream and come back during the evening just in time for the coverage to start. We'll see about that. Oh, I don't know. Is there? I don't think there's an NXT. Yeah, there isn't anything for NXT on Sunday. It's just Money in the Bank tomorrow and Worlds Collide, of course. But yeah, other than that, nothing much going on there. Nonetheless, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Y'all know what it is. Like, share, subscribe down below. And again, I can't thank y'all enough for coming through. I'm gonna keep doing that till the cows come home, and especially as more of y'all come along. But with that being said, this has been your time with A and J, and I appreciate you spending it with me.